What's up YouTube, Redbeard's Garage, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be finally putting a torque converter on Little Red. Now, we got a little bit of snow over the weekend. We only get snow about one time a year, so this is a rare occasion, and you better take all the chances you get to get some good video. Well, we had a bunch of throttle cables frozen. The 150cc must have had water down in the throttle cable and froze up, so we had to keep on hitting it with a heat gun probably about every 10 minutes of riding, and the Odyssey was completely froze up as well. So I'm going to try to put the Odyssey in the garage overnight to let it thaw out. Hopefully everything will be unstuck by tomorrow. I really need to be putting these things under tarps, but I do not have enough tarps for all these go-karts and four-wheelers. Now, of course, we tried Little Red, and I already knew before we even started that it wasn't going to get any traction with those slicks. And as you can see in the video, it completely just spins all the time. So I had a little brainstorm. We got a big build coming up very soon on the channel, and we have a bunch of parts from Go Power Sports piled up over there. Well, we had a set of aluminum wheels and V-tread tires, so I was like, hey, let's grab those wheels, slap them on Little Red, and sure enough, they worked. The steering wheel had enough clearance, and the thing looks mean with them. Well, of course, that old clutch that has pretty much been worn out for a pretty good while now would not pull the tires. It would just sit there and slip with me on it. Lonnie, it would take off because he's a lot smaller than I am, but it still wasn't nothing that you'd call fun. It would take off spinning a little bit, but it would quickly bog when that clutch started fully engaging. So we have a torque converter we've been setting aside for Little Red for a long time, and I think this is the perfect time to throw it on to get a little bit more power to have some fun in the snow. We are going to be doing some performance testing in a later video on how a CVT compares to the clutch on this Little Red go-kart. I know we're going to get less top end with the CVT, but of course we're going to get a ginormous torque improvement. So without further ado, I'm going to stop rambling and we're going to get the Little Red in here. And like I said, it already has the wheels and tires on it, so you're going to notice it's monster truck status right now. And we're going to get that CVT put on it and then go have a little bit of fun in the snow. Okay, first we got to pop off the chain as normal. I always use these small flat nose pliers. There we go. Come on, Jedediah. I mean, it's a lot easier if you get the tension off the chain, but I like playing hardball. Alright, we got that master link all off there. We'll take this stiff old rusty chain off there. Look at that. Look at that clutch. All worn out. We do need to dissect this clutch and see how bad that thing is. Now I'm going to take this, looks like a 12mm, and take this clutch off. It was a 13mm. I was expecting it not to slide off easily. Alright, we had a stubborn clutch. That son of a gun wouldn't come off. Probably where we left it in the rain 365 days a year. So I disassembled the clutch. It's just a bunch of snap rings. And now as we turn this, this threaded shaft is pushing against the actual crankshaft of the engine, and then these ears are pulling against that clutch assembly, and it's working quite well. We've pretty much already got it broken loose here, and it's sliding right off. As always, you have to cut this oil plug to clear the back of the torque converter, so I always use some tin snips and go ahead and make sure it's good and tight, and then go ahead and snip it off. I know it just turned, but we'll tighten it back up, because as you know, there's another one on the opposite side you can use. And now we're ready to throw this torque converter on. Of course, we're going to use these inner bottom row of bolt holes. We're just going to get it lined up and get that first one started on there. Now you're going to have to hang this torque converter off the side of a workbench, because it won't clear with the engine sitting flush on a table. Alright, first you want to slide the spacer onto the shaft. Then you can slide the rear part of the front pulley on. Make sure to put your brass bushing on next. Now you're going to want to slide the belt on. Now there's one flat spot on the belt and then there's one tapered side. The taper side goes towards the outside of the engine. And you just slide it on the rear pulley and then pop it on that front brass washer. Next, slide that gear cog on. Then the inside part of the bell and the outside of the bell, making sure there's two flat spots on this this inner gear. Make sure they line up with this and seat all the way down in it. Sometimes it's a really tight snug fit when they're new, but make sure that gets lined up. Next, you're going to want to put this washer with the notch on. It's kind of like a spacer. Next, you can put your bolt with your washer and lock washer on and go ahead and tighten it all down. Alright, so we got the motor put back on and the torque converter is super close to the frame, but everything cleared really nice. I didn't think it was actually going to. Now I just got to get some longer bolts. I think I got 1.5 in there, but we had to use 4 washers under the engine to lift it up a hair. So I'm going to have to go get probably like 2-inch long bolts tomorrow so I can use my stover nuts because I buy them in bulk. You definitely want to use stover nuts on your engine because I used to have problems all the time with my engine vibrating loose and the chain would end up kicking off. But if you use those stover nuts, it will not do that. I've never had one ever work its way loose on me. So we'll get those bolts tomorrow and sink this puppy down, hook up the throttle and the RPM gauge, and this thing will be ready to ride. She looks like she's going to be pretty mean, and I think Lonnie and Trey will also be here riding. So yeah. Okay, Lonnie, so what do you think of the Little Red transformation?
It's sweet. It's gonna be hard to go back to the slicks after this. This is pretty awesome. Looks like a tractor.
Yeah, it looks like it was made to be like this. That's what I think of every time I look at it, as a tractor with the big V-tread, and it completely transformed Little Red, and the torque converter is going to be a massive upgrade. This is what I was saying about the clearance. I don't even think that's a finger's, just a finger's width between the frame and the chain. And everything's hooked up now. We got the bolts. I had to go get 2-inch bolts for the motor because, as you can see, we had to use 4 washers under the engine on each corner. But she's all bolted down and
ready to go.
Yes, I'm going to throw my GoPro on. Lonnie's going to film me with this camera. I'm going to do the first rip snot on it. Then I'll give old Lawn Treasy a try. Let's do this.
Let's do it. And now I don't want to just take off on you when you start it. Are you excited?
I'm excited.
Take the beanie back off. Show everybody your lovely locks.
I'd rather not. I'd rather not.
Little Red is purring like a beauty.
I'm excited.
Big Red on Little Red. Greg's got a new favorite. I got around the house quick. Oh, going back this way. Faked out the cameraman. Looks like he's pretty much just keeping it sideways. So Greg, how was the first ride?
Dude, this is the funnest thing we got by far. I gotta adjust the throttle. It seems like it's sticking just a little bit at like when you come to stop, you gotta really hold the brake. So I'm gonna adjust that and let you ride it. Let Trey ride. This is the funnest thing we got. I gotta see if Go Power Sports will hook us up with these wheels and tires for Little Red, because this is just freaking fun for mud and snow. Woo! All right. The only bad thing about it is holding yourself on it with that seat. It wants to sling you off of it. My yard, by the way, is murdered. Absolutely murdered. Yeah, that's the worst part right here, is it wants to kick you completely sideways. Oh, poor baby's cold. Go Power Sports. Send us a set of these wheels and hubs. We need them.
It's so freaking awesome.
We need those wheels.
Oh my gosh, my hands are freezing.
You gotta be easy at the back corner of my house back there. You can see it's pretty much just slick mud. Look how he's barely on the seat.
I couldn't stay.
Oh no, you can't.
Throws you around.
Yeah, you cannot. Wait, no, let him do it. Need a little seat belt.
Look at that.
We need a bucket seat is what we need. We gotta find another one of these Mancos. Have to. Oh gosh. Well, I wanted to do a Christmas special, and I'm gonna consider this a Christmas special since we finally got snow. And this thing takes the cake by far of funnest go-kart. I would even almost consider it more fun than the Odyssey.
With
Maybe?
the day considered, I would.
Yeah, it's fun. So, Trey, what did you think about it? First off,
Didn't think it was going to have that much power, but it did.
yeah, it
Came through.
with the clutch. See, Trey didn't get to ride it with the clutch. It was absolutely trash with the clutch. With this torque converter and these wheels set up, I thought it would beat you to death as well. But I thought it, other than the seat, you sliding around on the seat, there's no bolstering to hold you in or anything. I'm going to try to get Go Power Sports to send us another set of these wheels and tires and hubs to keep around for Little Red, because it's a quick change out and we could basically throw these wheels and tires on real quick and go have fun in the mud and stuff on this little go-kart. So Lonnie, what did you think of the new Little Red 2.0? Little Red 2.0.
New and improved. That torque converter made it an absolute monster. It handled the snow like it was nothing.
I don't think we're going to go back to a clutch. Even for road use, the torque converter, I can't imagine, this thing is going to take off spinning.
Oh yeah.
With the slicks on it.
Put the slicks back on and it'll be a road monster.
Yeah, and as I stated before, smile factory. This thing produces smiles. I mean, you can't not smile on it. We're going to try to get Trey's mom to ride it here in a little bit, see if she'll get out and ride it, just to see what she rates it, and my wife. And we'll do a separate video of us just messing around in the snow. We might go find some fresh snow because we're completely killing my yard. For sure, my yard's dead.
We got a good little track going now. There's not even snow anywhere on the track. It's just
this
dirt.
Mud. Yeah, dirt, I guess. It isn't mud. But guys, thank you for watching. I hope y'all like Little Red version 2.0. Thank you Go Power Sports for providing us the wheels and tires. It necessarily wasn't for this project, but the torque converter was. So this, I'm telling you, is the most fun we've had on a go-kart in a long time.
Possibly ever.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Little Red is awesome.
Yeah.
I love it.
Guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for letting us grow to 10,000 subscribers. I can't believe we made it here so fast. We got more giveaways coming, light bars, nitrous kits, all kinds of stuff to give back to you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and share these videos. Help us grow a little bit faster. And guys, always come back to Redbeard's Garage. We're out.